Hello, Michelle. Sorry for the holdup. I just had a whole flood of people kind of at the same time, so I've got quite a list going on here. So, anyway, I'm usually booked for a week or two out anyway. So, I like to explain to my first timers. I don't think I've read for you before. I see, hear, feel, sense, know, pretty much all the senses, a little bit of smell and taste. So, I get it from all angles. They'll talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades, and I have to figure out what they're trying to show me in the picture. So if I don't get it explained well enough, you might have to think outside the box a little bit. I try to describe what I see or feel, or what they tell me about the picture. Usually when they show a picture, it's like, okay, there's your picture. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Names I stink at, so those will be, at least if I say John, it'll be a male with a J name. Lately, it seems like things that you can't validate, you'll either remember them later, write it down, it'll happen the next day or two, or it seems like relatives. When you say something to a relative, they go, "Oh, I know what she's talking about there." Don't know why we're taking this turn, but it's their show, and I allow them to do whatever it is they need to do. They tell us what you need to hear, maybe not what you want to hear. So let's talk to Mom and see what Mom has to say. Oh, she's all giggly and bubbly. She's very excited, very excited. She's just like all bubbly. I get to talk to my baby. She says she's showing you guys are almost like twins, like two peas in a pod. You are both free spirits. She's showing the wind blowing both of you at the same time. She's showing side by side, and the wind's blowing through your hair. She keeps saying free spirit, free spirit. Don't ever let them put that dome lampshade on you. Keep fighting against the rules. She says the government, but she's not meaning the United States government. She means that box. The box that I always talk about, right? The box that I always talk about is don't let them put you in that box. Be you. Be original you. She says be authentically you. Don't worry about anybody putting you in that box. She's okay. She's showing herself, and she literally takes her finger and she's tapping you on the head, tapping, and it won't feel like me taking my fingernail and smacking myself on the head. It'll be, I think you're actually going to feel a thump, a little bitty tiny thump. A lot of times when they touch you with their energy, like when they get really super close, when my bob gets really close, this part of my ear it'll get bright red where you can see it bright red. It'll burn like it's on fire. Sometimes it feels like head lice. It's the itching. It's the tingling. It's their energy. It's the way you. But I don't know how you're going to feel her energy for sure. But she's trying to show. Yeah, she's showing you're going to feel this on your head, but it won't be as hard as I'm thumping myself right now. Sorry, my eyes I went to the eye doctor this morning. My eyes are itching now, sorry. She's showing yourself laying in bed, and they like this time a lot because that's when you're kind of drifting off and you're kind of in between, you're kind of in la la land. And she's actually standing by your bed. She pushes on the bed. She's pushing down on the bed. She's not sitting on it like a lot of them do. She's pushing down on it close to your head to where you might actually feel the bed move a little bit. And most of the time when they show me things like that, they show like making a big effort, but them making a big effort just ends up being a slight. It ends up being slight. It takes a lot for them to do this, so she's making a big effort to make this happen, but it won't feel like that on your end. She's trying to get your attention. She wants you to know she's there. She says pray. You don't have to be in a church. She's actually showing, she's not talking about religion. She's talking about actually putting your hands like this and being grateful, being thankful for what you have, giving, she says, giving thanks for what you do have. So it's not like actual, you don't have to go to a church and kneel down and pray. That's not what this is. She draws my eyes over to my little sign. I have a sign that says religion you pay for, faith is free. She's circling around in your bedroom. So don't get scared. It's just Mom. And I will say, most of the times when somebody calls me, wants me to come to their home, they go, I have a ghost. It's usually Mom, Grandma, somebody just trying to get your attention. So don't be afraid. There's no demon in your house, because she says she wouldn't allow that. She's calling you a free spirit again, and she says she was too. She mentions your hair again. She showed you, both of you, with your hair blowing back. Now she's mentioning your hair again. Something about your hair. She tries to stroke your hair, and they do that a lot. And it'll, okay, my spiky stuff here, like if a fly lands on it, I can feel it. So that's about as slight or about as hard, I don't know which way I want to say that. When they try to stroke your hair, it'll kind of feel like that, because it won't be like me, going like that, if that makes sense. She's talking about flowers. Something about flowers. Okay, my Oriole just showed up and caught my attention. So an Oriole, I don't know for sure where you live. I don't stalk anybody's Facebook ahead of time, but so I don't. If you have Orioles, that's going to be one of your signs. But you will also see them. Like one lady I said this to, and her husband, as he was talking to her on the phone, literally saw a truck that had an Oriole on the side of it. So they appear everywhere. Signs, billboards, bumper stickers, Facebook, wherever. That'll be a sign for Mom. So any of the signs that I mention, tell her, I see the sign, I'm validating, acknowledging it. I love you, Mom, bring me more. And once they start realizing that you're seeing your signs, that they're trying to show you I'm here, then you'll get a lot more of them. Anything like that happens over and over and over and over, that you repeatedly see, That's, as far as I know, always a sign. Alright, hang on. I'm not sure what she's trying to say. She says kickstands up. Do you guys ride a bike? I do. I ride a Harley. So kickstands up till the sun goes down. Take that trip. You won't regret it. Alright, she's switching again. Hang on. Sometimes it seems to take a second for her to get from one thing that they were showing to another. Alright, let's see where we're going here. She's showing doors opening. Opening on the left. Okay, how am I going to explain this, Mom? She's showing she's showing doors, but this door opening on the left, and it must be one of your children. I can't see, she's not showing me well enough whether it's male, female, what. Not a small child, so it would be more of an adult child. That there is, and as she shows you walking through that door to this child, and even if you don't have an adult child, somebody that feels like a child to you. It doesn't always have to be a blood relative to have that feeling of being motherly. That one's kind of ignoring you. I'm seeing a baby. But it's like there's a whole bunch of your loved ones that have crossed over, and they're all standing around this one adult child. Okay, so I don't know what this is. That actually changed into a picture of my father holding one of my babies when they were little. So there's always a relationship when they do that. My father's name was Rex. He sold dynamite, owned his own business, was in the Navy, liked to have a beer. So there's some kind of a similarity. That's why they do that. Okay, she's saying, now we're going to the baby. She's saying she held this baby before it got here, and she still does. They are safe. She said they are safe. She and her team are helping with this. Helping guide them. She said, she goes like this, she goes, you can wipe the sweat off your brow, it's going to be okay. she's showing herself in a long flowing dress. A long flowing dress with, it's a dark, kind of straight, kind of, I don't know what kind of material, like really silky kind of slick material that but it's like blowing, as almost like she's floating along, which she can if she wants. I don't know. I don't know what. She's not saying why she showed that picture. I don't know if you would have a picture of her in something like that. I don't know if that's a validation. She's not saying. Sometimes it's just for me to pass the message along. Okay, so I asked her how or why she died, and I know a lot of times because I saw some really horrific things, I know I block a little bit of that out, but she's showing me, she's telling me something snapped, something broke, something popped. I'm hearing aneurysm. She's not showing me if it was in the heart or the head or where. Something popped. Something popped, something clogged. She says it was quick, sudden. Not expected. She says unheard of. She says unheard of, especially back then. She said inside of her it was like a flurry of activity, just, and then it was done. I don't think she's going to show me exactly. Okay, she's talking about Tinker Toys and Tiddlywinks. And Lincoln Logs. Things that you guys used to sit down and play with. I asked them not to give things that you were too young to remember. So hopefully you're old enough to remember playing those with her. She says she always encouraged you to use your imagination. Build things that were kind of wild and crazy. And not the same little things like the picture on the box. You know, she says again, get out of the box. Don't ever get in the box. Now she's talking about hot chocolate. Hot chocolate, you're going to smell it. You'll smell it probably mostly in your home, but if you smell it in your car, if you're walking through a store and you smell hot chocolate, Wherever you smell it, that's her giving you a sign. And do that. I love you, Mom. I understand that's a sign. I know you're here. She says she has talked to you in your dream, but it's been quite a while back. She likes your husband. And she says Mickey Mouse. Sometimes they'll just throw words out, so hopefully it's something you can understand. And she comes back here behind me, and she's peeking out over my head. She says you've grown up to be a beautiful person, and you are your own person. And she admires you for that. And I can feel her standing behind me, and everybody can feel this. If you, usually it's somebody that doesn't like you shooting daggers. I mean, you can feel the love energy is actually stronger, but it seems like we can feel like somebody staring at you across the room, like, you know. And you feel that before you see it, and you turn around and go, yeah, oh well, whatever. So it's kind of the same kind of energy. You will feel her standing behind you, like there's a person standing there, and you turn around, there's nobody there. She is there. She's always got your back. And that's what she's saying. I have your back. She's got her grandma with her. There was an uncle waiting for her when she got there. She says great uncle, but I think she means your great uncle. She says she skipped along, had no problem going where she was going to go. There was many waiting for her. She wants you to know that. The sky. What about the sky? There's something in the sky she's trying to point out. Sky. You're going to see a heart cloud. She's tried many. Heart cloud. Keys jingling when there's no keys around. When there's no keys moving, you'll hear keys jingling. So she's doing lots of things to try to get your attention. And until we start realizing that signs they're actually here, we poo-poo all that stuff. Now she's holding up a dandelion. You know how they poof out, and when they get their seeds, those dang weeds I try to kill in my yard. She's holding up a big dandelion and she's blowing it, and all the little things are flying. I let them run the show. She says if you need something, ask. And I preach this all the time. They cannot override your free will choice. They can put the most gorgeous, richest man in the world out here, and you can marry the guy that drives the trash collecting truck. They can put these people out there. They can open these doors for you. But you have the free will choice to choose whatever it is you want. So, but she says, ask, and then sit back and be willing to accept the doors that get open in front of you. So if you want help with something, ask her, and then just kind of sit back and keep your eyes open and see who steps into your life all of a sudden, or who calls on the phone all of a sudden, or who you run into and meet all of a sudden. Just keep your eyes open for that. She said there is going to be somebody step forward in your life that is going to be very beneficial to you. I'm hearing the name Greg, so it's a male with a G name. Don't hold Greg. Don't throw the reading out because you don't know a Greg or a Greg doesn't step forward. But somehow that person's going to be very beneficial for your life. Yep, we're not talking. She's making me feel like that you've been spending too much time at home, that you need to get out, that you need to you need to walk in nature. She wants you to go out. I don't know what the reason is, but there's going to be something there for you, and roam around in different little shops. What kind of shops? She's saying coffee shop, art shop, library type shop, maybe bookstore. It's like she's showing me a quaint little town that has a whole bunch of different little knick-knack shops. There's a reason for it. There's somebody you're going to run into that you need in your life. I don't know if it's going to be this male with a G name or exactly what he's bringing to your life. She says she wants you to know that she has not left you. And she thinks you're the most gorgeous human being on this earth. She's showing you putting, it looks like a daisy. It could be just a representation of a flower, but putting it in your hair, over your ear. She says you have a little bit of a hippie in you. She says hippies haven't died. They're hiding a little bit because people look at them funny. Hippies have not died away. And she says you have the heart and soul of a hippie, a free spirit. Keep on doing it, my dear, she said. She says as far as what you've done with your life, she sees no reason to close any doors on anything. Not everything's about mansions. Sometimes you just gotta go outside with your bare feet and wiggle them into the earth and get grounded. Again, she says, take that trip. It will cleanse your soul. And then she's mentioning water. I don't know if you're taking a trip towards water somewhere. She said she will be riding along beside you. She says you'd be amazed at what she can do. But you have to ask. Talk to her, she can hear you. She can absolutely, any of your loved ones that have passed, they can absolutely hear you. She mentions Mary, Mary, quite contrary. So probably somebody teased her about that as she was growing up. She says, don't stress the small stuff. Pick and choose your battles. Most of them aren't important. She's ringing a bell. So it's not keys this time. She's ringing a little... I have a bell like that. I need to bring it out here, because they do that a lot of times. I'm going to have to go buy one so I can show people what kind of a noise. Okay. She's making my head hurt really bad across here. Really, really bad. Giving me a really bad headache. And she took it away when I said that. Thank you. She's not saying what that's associated with. I don't know if that's associated with you or from her passing. She says Scarlet. She just said Scarlet. If that's a person's name, I have to stretch that a little bit. I don't know why we can't work on the names a little better here, guys. She says, I love you more than you know, to the moon and back. And don't think that's stopped. Love never dies. She says again, love never dies. I love you with my pea-pickin' little heart. And then she holds herself like this and she goes, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. So even if you might think your life isn't as perfect as it should be, or you don't have the things that you think you should have, or whatever, she thinks your life is wonderful. And you need to cherish that way. She said there's more to come. A lot more to come. And it's going to be all sunshine. What was that? She said there's always hiccups in the road. Don't pay attention to them. She wants you to concentrate on the sunshine in your life. And don't take it for granted. So she's waving. She's got that dark dress with the big, it's got big flowers, like big flowers, pink and white, and I don't know if that has any significance to it. Her hair's blowing in the breeze. She looks beautiful. And free. She mentions milk. Okay, she's leaving. She's blowing you kisses. She's she said, as she's walking away, she said something about a birthday, and she holds up one finger. So possibly somebody that's going to be turning 1. She'll be there. She says she does all the events. All the events. They honestly do. And then when I go to a big event, I go, wow, I know they're all here. It gets crowded. Sometimes I actually suffocate. Like when I go to a graduation or something like that in a building, I will be suffocating because there's so many of them there, because they go to the events. They go to the birthdays and the anniversaries and the... So just keep an eye out for some of these signs, especially on the special occasions or when you're about to fall asleep. So, alright, I'm going to let her go. Much love to you. I hope you got some validations, and I hope you can feel her love, and I hope you feel her behind you, and she'll be touching your head. She'll be tap, tap, tapping, trying to get your attention. So, much love to you. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, and oracle card advisor. See you later.